Oh, you live. I gotta make sure I got my fake me out in. I be talking, joints is hanging out, the little wire be hanging out. I'm like, huh? I can't hear you. And they're like, yeah, you can. No, I can't. I got my music on. They be like, well, your wire's hanging out. You must be hearing the ethers. Oh, damn. I got my fake me out here, man. Sunny day. Sunny out right now on this side. They trying to bring the clouds that you see behind me, but you hear them. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah, buddy. All right, so I be jumping into the game, man, you know what I'm saying? Because these are these mighty downloads. We're learning a lot of history, a lot of mystery, a lot of our history, a lot of things that have transpired that a lot of the false prophets didn't reveal to us. You know, we have a book called the OFFGRID that wasn't revealed to us through any of the false prophets, though it was out already. Not Malachi York, and we won't chop it up with him because everybody's trying to promote Malachi York right now, you know what I'm saying? So they're trying to resurrect him and bring him back, you know, and you know, with the information that was given, that was revealed from him, having the land and all these different things, and it was taken from him, and with the whole little for sale sign on the land anyways, and the Most High saying that you shouldn't sell the land that was given to you divinely anyhow, you know, the for sale sign was already in there, so now we see. So we're just going to speed it up to right now and to show the importance of, as a nation, man, a whole. And I give shout outs to the FBA. I meant to put that into the title too, because a lot of individuals talk a little kind of, you know, sideways to the FBAs, which y'all probably wonder, like, what is the FBA? The FBA is, you know, the Foundational Black Americans, you know. And I know everybody's throwing a lot of words around the term word black, and, you know, we're not the color. Now, you already know we got, bro. But still at the same time, you know, they label us certain things, you know what I'm saying? Certain things we agree with, certain things we didn't agree with. We agree with black because it was like, hey, it's something to connect us to the essence. However, you know what I'm saying? It's like something that makes us totally different. You know, like we're just connected to a whole essence source of reality type shit, like the blackness. And then we bring the light type shit. But, you know, that's just talking. Anyhow, though, the names is going to be thrown around, you know what I'm saying? But however, how it all started is how it's all going to finish, man. You know what I mean? Peace. What's happening? Said, what's I said, welcome to the Thanos world. I got like 3 jewels. I need a few more. And I was like, hey, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, so we were just talking about the, you know, because in the world there's like agreeable people who really don't like war and hell is shit popping off. So you see with the American, we dealing with the American nigga or the foundational black American, you know, they throw these words around, you know, but we're all pretty much the same type of people, you know. We have to pretty much help ourselves right now at this point. And a lot of the world has been gaslighted and projected a false identity of the nigga in America of being like this robbing, stealing, and killing type dude. And not realizing he's been under this cluster B personality disorder mindset and traits and pathological sociopathic oppressor type motherfucker that's been in his face for so long and been trying to prove itself to this man for so long to feel that he's to show that he's human too. That's what he was called, and we were so naive pretty much at a time because we was kind and we didn't want to kill no brothers and nothing like that, you know what I mean? So being that we didn't want to kill no brothers, we seen there was a certain other type of species that came through like, yo, we don't know y'all, but we ain't gonna kill y'all either and shit. And all of them, a lot of things was going on with the taking over the plantations and the cotton fields that we was making our clothes out of, making cotton candy, you know, having a full-blown civilization with streets and plane trains and automobiles nationally. You know, these things got taken away from us through, you know, the taking away of our chiefs and our hierarchy of our families who told us these stories and passed them down to us. We knew all about the stories of Hiawatha and Minnehaha and all these things, but now we don't remember because you can have false prophets come into the game and tell you like, yo, man, we came from overseas. You was unable to swim 9,000 miles. You was on boats and shit like that. These were the false prophets that's telling you this. They still in the corners right now talking about, and I'm talking about the NOI, the Now Cipher Islam, which is the Nation of Islam. You know, they'll take the foundational Islam and then bring in their prophets because they know that Muhammad with the Sunni Islam or the Orthodox Islam is dealing with the true Mohammedans who's dealing with, you know, how the Quran was revealed through the language and of the books. You know what I'm saying? Because he was illiterate. So he learned how to reveal this book through a certain language called Arabic, who was basically grabbed it off of Aramaic, which is basically Hebrew, which is part of a Syriac language stock. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, those something that you can just read and put together, like the Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, He, Ho, Dal, Dal, Rash, Ya, Sin, Sin, Sword. Forgive my whole little pronunciation of it, but you know where I'm going with it when you're dealing with the Arabic part. You know what I mean? So that's dealing with the false prophets. Pardon self. Let me go ahead and get down here to you. Hey, what's happening? YZ, what's happening with you? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? What's my man name? Nathan, 2013. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So anyhow, though, we're just breaking in. You know what I'm saying, with the FBAs, because there's a lot of flack going on. I know they probably won't catch this video for another time, for some time, but sometimes this is a timeless video, so you might catch it another time and may spark your inspiration there. But anyhow, they hear the Ninja and the FBA, they're kind of going at it, what we should be called, but we're not really, the clear picture is that we're not really sitting at a table anywhere clarifying who we are, whether it's Indians or whatever and shit, you know what I mean? Most High is divine. And so when I say divine, there's a very high order that's going on, that's transpiring right now, and that is going to be shown in front of the whole daggone world. Now, the way for the kingdom to come on earth is for our participation, is to refine ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically, to get off these parasites from these foods that these individuals have been giving us, the clothing that they've been giving us, and the shelters, the things that places we've been moving into, not really knowing the science of what happened to the prior move-ins. It could have been murders in the houses. The house could have been possessed. These are not spiritually advanced people to inform you of such things. You know what I mean? So now things are starting to get back in order. And as you can see, it's a little bit of anarchy going on the mainland and around the world. And with that, you see the crafty council that's taking place with the world leaders. And you don't see no niggas up in there. So our shit is supernatural. It's like it's really taking the meat and putting it up and establishing, you know what I'm saying, the foundation for the world to actually acknowledge. Like, we didn't even have to tell them how to do hip hop. They just looked and they paid attention to the culture. You know how we switch up and we evolve, and they just started evolving, adding on how it's supposed to be. But the only thing that's different is that we're held captive in the land, and we were attacked and held under hostage for hundreds of years. But now this time is up, though. And so, you know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with the whole little foundation of Black Americans and beefing, or them, everybody beefing with the foundation of Black Americans, you gotta look, we gotta take a certain title and kind of run with it, because this is how everybody knows us as, like, with the niggas that was already there, that didn't come and swim 9,000 miles away. You even got the islanders that want to hate on the mainland and don't want to give no type of props to the culture. Like, man, we had jazz, blues, everything, G. You know what I mean? We made music for everything, country music, all kind of song, all kind of music. That means we had culture, art. We had all kinds of art, literature, everything. The way we expressed ourselves was an art. The way of our expression is an art form. And so, when we've been now that we're gonna be disconnected for a little bit, everybody will see the difference of the American nigga, because that's what the Most High says. It's like, I gotta put Judah in them by themselves. They're gonna be the head. The Judah is really the American nigga, the one who got it the most, the harshest, the most. Whose resources that fuels the world without even having, even given the land resource. Their own body is a resource. They banking on you having a golden heart, so you can forgive over and over again the atrocities and shit that they've done to you. They wrote it in their own books, what they've done to niggas, man. I mean, all of the crucifixion, they got it over in Angkor Wat on the wall. This is written 3,500 years before, or 2,500 years before what's been going on. They was predicting the future, like, niggas is gonna be doing this. The little slave trade is gonna be going down. You're gonna know some certain people because they got this drum on their hip, and there's certain people who use this drum right here, and it just prophesies everything. Angkor Wat is one of the places where they see niggas' faces on the mountains with the big ass noses like mine, and they smile like this. Like, we already knew the future. We already knew what was gonna go down. And so we had to let it go down. These people wrote the books with the crucifixion of the man and the woman with the cross hanging out, mocking our understanding of the universe and how we knew agriculture, how we knew how to plant food, and we didn't have to go really kill animals like that. How we was actually in tune with animals and talk to animals and play with animals. So look, These birds is cool with me. They know I ain't thinking about eating their ass. Why would you want to eat a bird? Anyways, over and over again. It's just like you would deplete the land of bird. So, the birds, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? His eyes are hot as mean. Your feet are sweating like vinegar. Boom, look at my feet down there, bunched out, standing on the oif. You know what I'm saying? Does it mean your feet are sweating like vinegar and cheese toast? Y'all so mad. I like y'all and shit. But yeah, man, just keep on putting it in the game, man. But yeah, that's what we pretty much building about. You know, I ain't got really no the hate in the hate, because I already know that when we're dealing with cluster B personality disordered individuals like America is basically a narcissistic entity, or ran by sociopathic entities who are all narcissistic. You know, so basically you have to know how to be able to function around a narcissist. You know, certain narcissists don't want you to be up in their face. Certain narcissists want you to be in their face. It just depends on the abandonment issue and trauma that a narcissist got. When you're dealing with America, it's the same way. Remember, these people are abandoned. They're Cabbage Patch Kids. They were made in laboratories, so they have this abandonment trauma by being adopted and all these different things, being experimented on sexually, you know, traumatized, and then let loose and raised up with a narrative to kind of run niggas and shit, knowing that the people who taught them knew that niggas are very kind people and that they have a very advanced culture. You see the buildings and shit in the background on all the ancient maps, and the niggas was sitting at, even with the feathers and shit, you know what I'm saying? Them structures was already up. So with these individuals that you see, you know, the Cabbage Patch Kids that they were promoting in the late 1800s and early 1900s, you'll see that these were the ones who actually really have the cluster B personality disorder. We can research this in ICD-9 and ICD-10 if you just look it up yourself. I guess I gotta pull it up and just do the whole little pointing thing too. But, you know, it just clarifies the fact that, hey, a lot of individuals who have these disorders experience incest or just not being able to be loved and rejected and abused, whether it's mentally, spiritually, or physically, by a caregiver, a primary caregiver, who they considered a loved one. It could be a close motherfucker, a close brother, a mother, an auntie, who tried to, you know, finagle the innocence of the individual. Now, these beings were kind of just made for that. That's why they have to eat certain GMO foods to kind of keep everything going, you know, to keep their body functioning, because eating natural foods can kind of kill these motherfuckers. You know, it creates disease because it's too rich for them to really eat. Some of them can do it to a degree, but not too much though. You know, they can do it a little bit, but you got to have something in there that kind of like refines this richness of this naturalness, you know, of what they eat. Like, gotta have a little bit of refinement in there, because all that naturalness can kind of, like I say, it'll cause it'll bring forth cellular sicknesses or diseases, which we'll call tumors or something like that. And then being that they just love cutting out shit, they'll cut out a tumor. So that's pretty deep on that end. But yeah, with the Foundation of Black Americans, I was going to build about, you know, Deion Sanders, but that's going to be on my other channel, talking about the Shadur Sanders situation and how they're treating them. This is a worldwide thing dealing with football. When you put your son up for football, it's like putting your son up for slavery. Like personally myself, I kind of wouldn't even put my son up into a league after I done played in it already. We're going to try to do something else to be better than this league, instead of me just putting him up for the league and knowing the millions that he can get paid and things of that nature, and thinking that you're going to be supplied in the future. That's dealing with this cluster B personality disorder once again. You know, cluster B personality is everywhere, G. This is why these wars is going down. This is why you got the idolize and the divide and discard mechanism hitting the world at a very high rate. It's really vast, people, you know? And on top of that, you have people who believe the actual media of how niggas naturally are in the world. Like, you have people clutching their purses, like niggas really do run up and steal purses and stuff like that. You got a lot of things that's going on. The cluster B personality disorder deals with the projection and gaslighting. So when you looking at things like the president talking about how niggas is and how they built this and they built that, but then turn around, got the police on the street, won't stop the police brutality, won't go to the state and be like, yo, get these motherfuckers up out of here right now. You know what I'm saying? Whoever does any type of police brutality or murder, death, kills while on, you know what I'm saying, duty at work. Meanwhile, all these things are still happening. When you're dealing with a narcissistic entity to break away from a narcissist, you're gonna have to go ahead and just go no contact, get away from them. You know what I mean? You got individuals still trying to be in their leagues and their companies, you know, trying to be, you know, in their leagues and in their companies and trying to deal in equality with these people. This is when you become more broken and more lower in yourself, because you already got everything. You're like a natural resource. You see how they use certain people to accumulate like crowds. It's certain individuals that can accumulate a crowd of thousands of people. People will pay $50 to see one person. You got 100,000 people that'll pay $50,000 to see one person, and this is not even oil that they're paying for. They're doing this multiple times on a tour. They utilize Michael Jackson for shit like that. And people who ever did tours, they didn't get all their money anyways, because they got to pay different people's in, and then, you know, the cut of the IRS and all that shit comes into play. But it's not really actually a fair thing. So when you're dealing in their world, it's still a part of their world. You haven't been able to save yourself, making knowledge born to be like, yo, man, we have to, in order to see the true power of what we truly got, you're going to have to go celibate, which is like semen retention. A lot of people talk about semen retention of where, you know, you can get more chicks and you want to bang more and have more sex and shit like that. But the semen retention is a spiritual thing for you to gain control of your sexual nature and your desires of your eating and gluttony, you know what I'm saying, and just being able to deal in nature in general. And dealing with all type of opposition, because you're going to have, you know, offensive shit that always happen to you. Especially if you choose a certain road. It's going to be offensive shit all the time. It's like people wake up just to come to try to offend you. So this is a part of the new light, man. They're going to always try to offend you now. Now you got individuals on earth that's doing celibacy, doing semen retention. They're not doing celibacy like, you know, like the yoga over there, and they still masturbate and shit like that. No, we're doing celibacy without masturbating, G. And we're still mastering the science of our woman, of how to have sex with her and give her multi-orgasms without us having an orgasm. That's the most important thing. Now, if we got a wife, we must make her have 3 to 5 orgasms. Internally, externally, but externally first and internally, you know? Well, we can be able to keep that energy, but when we violate ourselves with these energies and go outside the marriage and just play with people and mix our energies and shit, we're not even, our orgies is mixed with strangers and shit, that's supposed to be the taboo, then we become low vibrational like them. We be thinking like them. You wonder where the insecurities come from. You further fed these mugs after the seed was sold in you when you was a child. If you've been molested and you haven't really took to the point where you want to acknowledge the fact that that happened, or you just want to do the blame game and say that happened, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's like, you know, if it really happened or not, the abuse and what you was narcissistically facing. Because if you had an abuser, most likely they're narcissistic. So you're dealing with America, nigga, they're the biggest narcissistic abusers in the world to niggas. We're their primary supplier, where they would go to. Yet they still hold crafty counsels behind our back and not even offer us no other land, and still scrambling and shit to do certain things. Still scrambling, even get some land and shit. To even plant some food, to be on our own, don't even talk to them. They know we got all the talents, so we know we got all the gifts and shit. You know? They know that Most High gave us, everyone is unique. And everyone can damn near do everything with us. But there's one that can represent something that the best, like the nucleus of how it's supposed to be. And then we'll continue to evolve it from there. That's how it is. They see how we evolve. Just even with basketball. When Jordan came into the game, we learned that we had to, you know, do certain things, even with certain point guards, you know, that era in general, you know, shooting shots and how you had to change your game up. And it's not necessarily Jordan all the way, but he was the nucleus of how we had to change it up. Michael Jackson, the same way. We had to change it up a little bit. Before that, we were just like, nah, 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 nah. Michael came in, this is what we doing, this is what we doing now, nigga. You know, so we were like that, and we are like that. So when they understood that we was like that, they tried to start programming us. This cluster B personality, this sort of one-on-one at its finest, man. You know, porn, all that shit. Our parents, how they was exposed to certain street life and shit like that, man. It was a lot of things that were going on that was hurting us. And so our parents didn't choose to heal, but a lot of our parents were strong enough to make it to the next cycle, so we can be able to take the wheel and go from there, because we're just spirits that's taking on the genes. We can't blame our parents for shit. They're here to get the experience in their gene. We're not turning each other against one another, like the gender bashing. We're not doing none of that shit. That was a whole little Malachi York shit where it's like the X chromosome was bigger than the Y chromosome, and then it's like boom. Nah, we're not doing none of that, P. It's like it is, but it didn't come from that. So that doesn't mean nothing. Everything has information. So your cells have information. The energy around you have information. Your electromagnetic field has information. Shit, everything around you have information, P. Even the wickeds. So in order to rise above them in the feelings, because you're going to be dealing with them, not to say you're not going to be dealing with wicked individuals, but to rise up higher so you can be able to go about your day, you're going to have to do that same retention. If you're lower than them, it's going to be hard for you to function. You'll be mad and ruminate and shit like that. And we know that from experience, but now we up. We know already. They get to a point where they can't even really test you too much. Only thing they can do is just try to offend you just by with certain things, dirty looks, you know, make you feel like you just like whatever, even though you shining, they try to see if they can make you feel a certain way. If you still have this unknowingly, subconsciously, if you still have this cluster B personality disorder complex that you haven't faced in yourself yet. Just to give it a title, so we can have something to look upon. Like I say, I ain't got the little whoop to point up and all that shit because we just popping off the top. But you know, but that's what we really dealing with, G. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas ain't got no land nowhere, G. You know what I'm saying? Even though we got the knowledge and understanding, they're banking on us not to be able to add on and build our own shit. Even if we want to do a business, we're gonna have to use demographics now. Now we're dealing with demographics, but we're dealing with vision and mission statements. Who do you talk to that's a billionaire? You got people, black billionaires. We're not here to count their money. They count their money for us. They tell us that they got billions of dollars and shit. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, we're not banking on them to really give us anything. We have people give us false promises talking about what they would have farms and, you know, easy birth and labors and places and stuff like that. We already got this in the collective. It's just the fact that, yo, we wrote up a vision and mission statement. A billionaire doesn't want to invest into those type of things. They don't want to see the original people in America, you know, benefit. That's why we didn't get the benefits of, like, you know, any of the tribal shit, because we have our own midwives, we have our own everything. Shit, homestead, all that. And so when you have celebrities talking like, yo, I will do this, I'm gonna do this, by the time they about to do this, we're gonna already have it. And nobody's gonna even support the celebrity no more. It's like, nigga, we don't even care if you who, Kyrie. We don't even care. You gotta deal with these people. You know what I'm saying? You actually exploiting our culture with the moccasins. It's just hella bad. Now if it was your own company, we'll fuck with you. But it ain't. If it was your own, we would. But now we know that we got the man in there and shit, and you want to talk calm to us, we're not fools, people. I don't even go to no basketball game. I don't even wear none of your clothes. I don't wear none of their clothes, none of their garments, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I never had it to identify me either, man. Because that shit is wicked. Even the frequency of the daggone cloth is fucking low vibrational. You're spending hundreds of dollars on this jersey and shit, that shit's low vibratorial, P. Fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, definitely. Man, you see, my man tried. You already know. Man, it's gonna be over maybe just because of the simple fact nobody's not really caring about what they do. Will Smith over there performing, nobody care about that shit. That was all a part of the spell that we didn't know. Like, we believe certain things in movies back then that when we see it now, it's like, oh shit, it was really written this way. For us to see it this type of way. You know what I'm saying? We really is the Amaru company. And a lot of us knew it, but we liked it individuals outside of us more than us. We incorporated this cluster B personality in our culture, where we started idolizing and devaluing everybody else. Yeah, we are the true judges, but we started idolizing and devaluing people. You know what I mean? We're like, hold on, when we like people in general, we love for you to come over. If your spot ain't cool, we love for you to come over to our spot if we got it. Because even if our spot mess up, man, you come through, man. Boom, boom, let me tidy up a bit. You know? But look how that mugs treat us. So we're gonna have to take the power back, save self. We're making knowledge born now. We don't even have if we wanted to, if we're dealing with the demographics, we can actually own a Walmart. You know what I mean? We don't have to include no celebrity. If celebrity was cool, you can see who we want to slide the money to, or the bread to, or whoever. That's a lot of these people are already puppets and shit. But slide the bread to, like, man, you ain't even gotta tell them motherfucker I'm gonna slid you this and shit. But do this, I'm gonna support, boom, 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 how it is. Nigga, get the land, boom, boom, boom. Don't say shit like that. Ain't no real nigga did that shit, and they should've, and they never did. You know, even the niggas who made their money off of niggas out through the donations and whatever, through their little shows of regurgitating NOI's information and shit, a little partial information of the Malachi York situation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just really talking about the true cosmology of the earth and yo nigga, the heaven within, man, you gotta be celibate and don't be watching this fucking porn. And boom, we sell like that, man. Take about 14 months, we all be there, nigga. We need about 50,000 to 72,000 of us for the energy to really take hold when we get close to one another. You know what I'm saying? The energy will change the whole fucking area. If we have that much kundalini on us, but we're spread apart now. And even when we're spread apart, we're causing havoc and shit. But you got these individuals that'll take that money and they still, if they buy the land, they be like, look what I'm doing over here, nigga. I got the land over here. We doing this. We got this. They don't even know how to do the acres. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to do farming right and exact. They have all this land and won't even know how to do the farming. So when you're dealing with shit like this, it's like, dude, Most High only gave you the information for you for a certain part, certain season, for a certain revealing for certain people. Now it's like the ones are in the game now, you know? And so we're at the point where it's like, look, we wild niggas in Mississippi, right? But it takes for a spiritual individual to get to a certain place, because you can't be a prophet in your own land. It takes you to get to a certain place for you to be able to get the information back out to say like, yo, this is pretty much going down because it's a spiritual warfare. We're talking real deep here. When people love to throw the word spirit around, but don't really want to accept the term of like, nigga, yeah, there's spirits, nigga, and there's cities and all of this shit going down, man. And how to arm yourself in this type of warfare. This is very heavy warfare. You're gonna have to detox from the shit that they gave us, whether from the food, the jewel of life, the clothing, the shelters, everything, in order to bring in that love, peace, and happiness. You know, these are jewels of life, G. And even if it was written by someone else, it was inspired by a higher ancestor or by the Creator, because the Creator is the all being who actually hears our soul and gives us these answers through individuals, mortals or spirits, B. You know, so this is the world we got to tap back into. But when you go in the light and you don't have no drive to protect yourself, we won't have no drive. We'll only protect ourselves when we're mad. We'll defend ourselves when we're mad, but we're not really defending ourselves and out of the right knowledge, and a knowledgeable state of mind. We're actually dealing with this cluster B borderline shit where we're reacting. We're insane at a point. We're reacting to things. That's why they try to get us to make us, what they say, respond and provoke us. They're good at provoking because they see already we can do this and we can make them do this, that, and the third. Whether they'll look at you and stare at you a certain long time. A man will do that shit to me. But I realize these entities that do that, they just sexually attracted to the man who has his kundalini up high as the motherfucker. And only niggas can do that shit to get up to the point, to the crown and up. Because that's when you communicate with your ancestors and the Most High. This is who was inspiring us, and they know that's the Most High. We look at it as this normal. Like, damn, that nigga came up with that flow like that, and don't realize the Most High just inspired you through your uncle or whatever from 1,000 generations ago who was cold with the music, who just remixed the music and gave you the flow back and shit. You sitting there in the room writing the flow. They sitting there next to you. They kind of like your ass. The ones they be like, they haven't graduated off of Earth, or some of them who just flunked along so many times and they tired, they ready to get up off of Earth now. They ready now, because now they giving all the false God they shit back. Everybody, the fight's going on. Nobody's believing in Jesus no more. Everybody's like, it's the all spirit, the Most High, the I am, the great one. And it's our ancestors who deal with those. So when we got off of that and started doing this shit for our own selfish greed, this is when we start falling off. So the repentance comes into paying your tithes by not having sex, which is basically just cultivating your kundalini energy. It was said in other cultures, we called it kundalini. It's dealing with the Zarathustra culture, who pretty much was talking about, it was like building on the life after death situation. And then more about cultivating the light and the spirit while you're in the flesh. And then that's how the whole little false Osiris and Anubis came through in the game and shit, you know what I mean? Because they was trying to do the same thing, but try to make mortality seem like it's the highest and the it point, when the Most High created this everlasting evolving for forever. You'll never stop evolving. And that's what they didn't want you to know. So this is why people really want to be with you and intertwine their DEA or DNA with your ass, because it'll have a better chance for some of their abandonment issues to be blended in with your savior self issues. You want to help everybody, and you get them into your heavens. But then Most High already said you have to stay back for about six to eight generations, 6 generations or more, basically. Shit, if you want to, for all your grandchildren who was basically mixed. Like, take for instance Bob Marley. Bob Marley He already mixed. He mixed the seeds. See, they did that right up under our faces and shit. That's why I like the Islanders, but they're gonna understand once we take the energy back from them, from all the islands, because that's where we went to the islands and inhabit them motherfuckers. That's y'all us. You know what I'm saying? So once we take that back, because they was allowing the British to come through and they was treating them a certain way, man. And it wasn't really what we went through. They went through a lot of shit, but you know, they had a little bit more freedom, and they kind of was teasing us when they used to come to our land and shit, you know what I mean? And they got a lot of our women. I wasn't tripping on them. We didn't care. We didn't care. If you can get our women, you can get her. She chose your ass, she chose you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They hide their women on. All the men, all the women, men on they the foreign men, they hide their women from us and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want their women to see, you know, and understand us at a different perspective. Like, yo, what we like, damn, these niggas intelligent. They got a charisma about themselves. They got an extra boom, 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 boom. Man, they just fun to be around. Shit. You know what I'm saying? To the point motherfuckers are paid to watch your ass. You ain't even entertaining. So it's different. You know, it was different type of individuals, man. So, you know, we'll take our power back, almost sorry, with the butterfly. We take the power back, boom, they see that, yo, we had all the jazz, everything, the boom, 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 the boom. We took that shit to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Cuba, to this day, is like stuck in time, motherfuckers, because of that type of music, you know, and the cars and all of that shit. We gave a lot of music away. We got a lot of drum. We got a lot of evolution, you know what I'm saying, on how we been doing certain things. Hey, mama. Hey. Can I talk to you later? All right. And so we do a lot of things. We got a lot of little charisma. So right now, we about to show the highest of power that we got. You know what I'm saying? Which is the celibacy. Like, you know, yeah, we like bitches. I'm gonna say it like that. We like bitches, but we don't have to fuck all these bitches. We know that. We know that they want us a lot. Because once they deal with us, they kind of go a little cuckoo. If you ever had a foreign chick, they go a little cuckoo when you bang them and shit. When you bang them when you bang them really good, they go a little cuckoo. They want to fucking hurt you and everything. They really go crazy. We think that that's cool and cute and shit, but they really do the shit, man. Because they're in a different ripening point in their existence as a culture. Niggas is already at the highest point, man. We're like earth angels. We like show the example. We're next to the angels, nigga. After us, there's angels. So, and then after the angels, there's God, there's everything after that, you know what I'm saying? But we're like the example on the earth, like the highest of the highest example of how to be. Even in our lowest self, we showed you how to be in the lowest self. If you want to be, hey, nigga, you want to be corrupt, we showed you how to be corrupt. If you wanted to be the most righteous and be the most inventive, we showed you how to be that. Everything you needed to be shown, we shown you. That we were more wickeder than the most wicked things that you've seen. Niggas, because it was no white folks in the Bible. Niggas was wicked as fuck. Put people in the goddamn lion's den and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we seeing it in real time and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Because it's a serious situation. I got my fruit over there, so every time I feel a little low, well, people see the aura's up too, because I'm doing the whole fast thing. I'm showing that we can live off the UV rays. You know, I know that's why they're trying to cover it up. They know I'm not here, getting the information back. I'm not at the point where I'm gonna be, but it's at a point where I can actually get the information to us. Because we got chosen ones out here. You got tribes, the Samoans, you got the Samoans, the Tahitians, the Tongans, the Fahesians, and the Hawaiians. All together, basically, they're Hawaiians and shit, you know? And they call it the Polynesian language, but if you put it closely, listen to it closely, you see it sounds a lot like Hebrew. They're called Nagas. That's the natives of the land. So I'm like, yo, it's my Nagas. You ever remember Martin's episode? He was like, yo, what up, my Nagas? He said just like that. The natives of the land. So we came out here. Shit changes as you travel across the world. They just us. They have the same extra bop. You know, they don't do the hating when you walk past and stare at you and shit like that. They have a thing where they let you be you. And as time goes, you know what I'm saying, we'll finally meet up. Like, man, I kind of always wanted to meet you. I kind of always wanted to meet you too. And then next thing you know, boom, Ohana, which is brother. Ohana. Ha is the breath. So you put that together, man. And I see the people out here, I'm like, yo, they're a missing tribe. They're part of it too. They were just isolated. And they were attacked also. Surrounded by all of their tribe too. The French, the Spanish, the British, everybody and shit. You know what I'm saying? They came nice at first, and then next thing you know, they was doing the whole little boom, boom, boom too. So, and we had the structures, we got mouths and shit over here too. And they know it's a connection. Because every time they see me, they're like, hey nigga, why the fuck is you here? That's what the white folks look at. Then they realize that the Aina, see, the Aina has to be spiritually connected with you too. And it takes time for you to know that. And it's alive. Everything's alive. Anybody come over here on some bullshit, they slip up on something, boom, fall on something, boom. It's like anything can happen, G. This is a spiritually like place where it's like neutral zone. And they really want it to blow itself up because they want to get into some of the secrets that they know is in the mountains and in the volcanoes and shit. It's very deep. But anyways, I'm going ahead and get ready to wrap it up. The sun feels very good on it out there, man. I ain't think I thought it was gonna be cloudy all the way until about 5 o'clock. Boy, I'm gonna be like, man, make you just smile like a motherfucker. Motherfuckers mad as hell looking at me over my ass over here like, God, this shit feels so goddamn man. But how can you not be in this, man? I did 35 winters, see. I already know how this shit feels. 35 winters. I learned how to wear fucking thermals. I learned how to regulate my pH balance. I learned that in the wintertime, I did the winter, man. I did out there more than they done did summer times. I done been in that weather, man. And did, you know what I'm saying? Wind chill factor 20 below, man. Gloves on a ladder and shit. I done did work. I done lived 35 winters. I done seen the coldest of the coldest days. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to regulate my pH balance, make sure I don't sweat, wear them layers and everything, G. You know? And like I say, we need this right here. Even in the wintertime, I was still able to get in the sun and sun days. Like, boom. You know? But you definitely need the sun, the UV rays to heal you. That's why they covering it up. It's really the UV rays and also what's to come. You know, they want to put their little shit out there first, but it's what's to come. The UV rays. And the only way you can take this, man, is through detoxing. You ain't gonna be in the sun if you got some toxic ass melanin and shit. Your melanin is toxic, B. You're gonna get the hell out of the sun, like quick. Because you're gonna them parasites gonna be like, yo, man, you gotta get the fuck up. Gee, it's hot as hell. You know? So basically, if you're eating them fruits and them berries, I got a big ass juicy pineapple over there, I'm eyeing and shit. You eat that shit, nigga. It keeps all that shit at the minimum, and you gonna lay your ass in the sun all damn day. But if you eat too busy eating cakes and pastas and shit like that, you can only lay in the sun for a little bit. And I hear the sun is not merciful. It burns your ass. I don't care who you is, it's gonna burn you. I done watched people start bleeding out their face in front of me, out their arm, their hand, their knees, without even a scar. It just come out of nowhere and shit. So that just lets you know, man, some shit going on out here. So in the world today with the sun, you know what I mean? The sun is a beautiful thing. It helps raise the vibration, to the point motherfuckers is like they trying to you know, accept this thing. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to hop up off this joint. Thanks for joining in. My dog, One Man Tribe, that jumped into the game on NAGA. And YZ that came into the game. I said, welcome to the Thanos world. My dog came into the game. If you're new, you're fresh, man. Thanks for joining in. You know what I'm saying? I can lay my ass out here because now the sun is like my, down there, like my protection and shit. I can lay over there with my bag, get them UVs to knock them. You know what I mean? Like I said, in parasites, you won't be able to take it. You gotta detox and take the sun as much as possible. It's gonna energize you a lot. You know, curb the appetite, man. It feels so good. I was probably go on my other channel and talk about some stuff, but I can really talk about shit on this channel with this. But on my other channel, I can just really chop it up on some more, you know, the real fruit. Excuse me, the fruitarian type stuff. But you know, you gotta have more to it. That the fruit brings spiritual enlightenment and shit to you. Make sure you're high vibratory. So yeah, with that being said, I love y'all, man. Make sure you get out in the sun.